Let me get this up on the get up my big screen too. I just want to see. Okay, I guess it helps if I power up that display. Okay. So I go through, okay, and get it adjusted to the right inputs. Okay. Start casting to it so I can use it. And I need to make sure that in fact, I'm adjusting audio because I've got a clear click that works now. Um, I haven't even pulled off the label off of it yet. Just getting all the cables routed and everything. Okay. Didn't I say? Okay. Connect to that one. And we'll put the YouTube studio up there so I can see. It looks like I'm having a couple viewers come on. Okay. Good seeing you too, Jesse. I know it's been a while. I the last few weeks it's been mostly from the issues I had with my ClearClick device. Maybe I'm using that as a little bit more of an excuse than what it needs to be. But I do. An error occurred. Why is an error occurring within my YouTube? Well, yeah, just picking up. I've got clutter off to the side that I need to go through and deal with. I'm not sure why it's going through and the YouTube Studio. Maybe I need to just refresh it. Well, streaming software is okay. There we go. Refresh did it. But yeah, maybe I'm using that a little bit more as an excuse than what it needs to be. Uh, just because uh, I could have done some videos without uh, having to do a VGA capture, and I could have done other HDMI capturing HDMI by other means, but that's my main device. I like going through and using it, and it just was a lot of frustration getting a replacement device that wouldn't even power up. And I tried to convince them to say that, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. They're asking me what power supply and everything else that I had connected up to it. Well, I've had a ClearClick for over 2 years. I mean, I know how to run the things. And so I finally got a replacement in that's going to go through and work. I'm actually on a newer system here too, that there shouldn't be as much lag and things like that. I did see with some of the video, I did see a little bit of lag between my internal webcam and the camcorder. But I'm going to do, just to see that I'm in sync. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'll get to see in replay if somebody could tell me if that seemed like the audio was in synchronization with the video. I know that there's, in this view, there's a little bit of delay between the internal webcam and my camcorder input, but I'm just hoping that the audio is a little bit more synchronized. And I've got that back panel on as well. I'm not quite able, cord length and everything else. Later on, I'll actually get, I've got long enough cables. I just need to connect them, that I'll show the other side of that, because it's a panel that I went through and ordered that is that Dell panel back there. Well, let's say not an IBM is how it's marked, but it is a Dell panel, and it's ultimately, it takes a lot of nice little inputs and everything. They're still being sold out there, and people want those things for a premium. I'm not sure how I got this one, but it does 1600 by 1200 for the resolution, and that is known as UXJ. And I don't know if that U is like an ultra or, and that's different from the uh, WUXGA, which is the wide version, basically. And that's a little bit more on the vertical axis for the being a widescreen. And this is, I think, actually even, it's not a 4.3, it's actually called a 5 or a 5:4, a 5:4 ratio, not a 4:3 ratio. And I've got a display from a Toshiba laptop, ultimately, is what those things were set for, that is also 1600 by 1200. And the thought was there that I would have a monitor in front of me that I'm able to go through and control with my wireless keyboard and mouse. And so I can go through and pull up things on that display that are then mimicked, duplicated to that back display on the bench. And so I'll probably go through at a later point and show another video, show that second display that I have, the one that I'll have in front of me at one point. I'll have to come up with a way to mount it, and it's a little bit disembodied right now. I just have the cables connecting it. But that's one of the things. Now, on the back there, and I haven't masked out any addresses. The address it came from is actually a commercial location, so I don't think they care for that. But I'll maybe to mask out my own address on it. That's actually boards for um, the expansion chassis, the IBM expansion chassis for the PC or XT. Um, a, a couple parts to replace what I've had years ago and lost. Um, I don't have quite all the components, but in just picking up a PC yesterday, original IBM PC, that's an older model, Some of my content, I think, on videos that's going to come down here soon is going to be going back to the older IBM PC and XT stuff. Some of those components just going a little bit older rather than PS2s or ThinkPads or some of the other stuff that I've had. Uh, I say lately, but my channel hasn't been very operational. So, well, it's afternoon for you, Chris. It is still morning for me. I don't know how long this is going to. I'm going to go through and uh, have the stream. In fact, I'm going to go through and review later on. I do have the cooler running. It is still September, or it's now September, but it's still hot enough to run the cooler for this area. So just to going through and adding a little bit of a breeze across me, and I don't know how much of the noise is picked up over that with the since my headphones are noise canceling. The mic should cancel out a lot of that as well, but I don't know. There might be some background noise that are heard. Yeah, I'm blaming equipment for a little bit of the uh, not broadcasting, and of course, even going through and not doing videos, that many videos here lately anyway, in the last year. Um, I've been doing even less now with that I'm currently blaming on equipment, but still moving around trying to get things organized. Going to a studio area that I can use without too much impact, but I've still got to get quite a bit more organized than what I am. Except Tandy. Oh yeah, I got to bring in the the Tandy stuff. I don't know if I have any Tandy stuff around still. I did have um maybe we can just get up to back up to the December stuff here soon. I hope that I'm not jumping ahead too quickly, but um I don't know if I will how many themes I can do. I do have a little bit of video idea content uh, that I've planned. Um, Other stuff I have to do, I'll just have to see what schedule I work it in on. I need to get busy on some scans and things like that too. One item. And I didn't even go through and I haven't muted my phones or anything like that. Bring in some of, oh yeah, it'd be, I don't know what this one is on top. Oh, okay. Probably set that ergo off to the side for now. I want to go through and show this other one because I have a manual. This there's an eBay auction on one of these that came up, and I did have this one tucked away in a drawer. I'm aware of several of these that have now come up, and probably will go on the market. But let's go through, get me off the internal webcam. And this is a microchannel video board. And that, keep the lights on a little bit. And do, oh, this is actually the light that I wanted. I don't want it that bright though. Okay, that's a microchannel video card. You can see lots of memory there. And this is the Artist graphics. This is called a wind sprint. In fact, I'll get it right. Orientation. So there's the tab showing what it is. Wind sprint 1000i. And there's quite a bit of drivers and things like that for this on the Arden tool. Let me get that. Let me get that website up. Even the web page for it. Excuse me. And hide my OBS for a moment. Go back to. And of course, I have the Arden tool open and looking through other areas. Let's get down to video adapters, artist graphics, wind sprint. Oh, and there's even some files. There's a separate page. It's probably linked from this. And get back to my OBS. Well, actually, I want to get to my YouTube Studio window. There's the link for that. And I did have this one tucked away. And then I've also had the manual I've got to go through and scan. And it's an interesting board. Of course, people are interested in the fact that it's higher capabilities than a lot of the standard VGA, of course, or really there's not so many available adapters on video adapters on microchannel that are what some people relate as being the performance level that they want to have. And so I'm going to be going through and scanning the manual and doing this. And that's where a little bit of the aspect of this display in the back comes up, because since this display is able to go up to the 1600 by 1200, that is what the artist maximum resolution that's able to do of effectively real video. This actually has they have what they consider a virtual video as well, or what you can magnify, and it ends up being actually even double what the video card is displaying uh, in reality. And so I just want to check over some of the programs and things like that that it references in the manual. It talks about, oh, okay, there's even a thing on upgrading the sim. Okay. So even though we have drivers and things like that on the Arden tool, the manual of providing that information, I'm not aware of this existing in electronic form. So I need to go through and get that scanned in to be of help for using that video board of the several that are coming up on the market here soon that I'm aware of. And that'll even enhance the value of those. I'll have to see. That might be a regular gold mine when it happens. So stay tuned for that. I can probably do a little bit of a, since I mentioned that back display, I can probably do a little bit of a example video output, get that installed in the system and run through the paces of that. It's been also forever since I've done really any long videos as well. Anything over an hour of going through in depth. And maybe I can eventually go through and bring up my production quality a little bit too, to where I can go through and edit with the capabilities of some more modern systems and go through and have a little bit more professional videos as well. And so, yeah, that's just an update for me for this unannounced uh, video stream. I'm glad that we had people tuning in. Oh, the two wheel riders down in Houston, and I apologize. I've been so much out of touch and everything else, and I just had the assumption that they moved on to somewhere else. That is great to hear. Um, Being that I was at, it's even been a couple months now since BCF Southwest in Dallas, and I had that intent to think, well, maybe I'd even have somebody would come up from be able to come up from Houston to bring those along, but it didn't just work out. So yeah, I will be in touch seeing uh, to go through and go a little bit further. I've been moving around a little bit of my typewriters and things like that here. But yeah, I'd love to have that extra bit of models to be able to see what I can do. Um, Even especially with the wheel writer that I have that has the display and the diskette drive, getting that running and enough of a functional enough that that I can show it off as well too. But thanks for reaching out and telling me that, because I was just under the assumption that it'd been so long and I'd gone out of touch that yeah, well, we'll see. I'll be in touch and we'll see what I can do. Um, because I didn't really have any more trips planned, even that to the Dallas area, much less Houston here. But we can plan it just in an offline mode of what we might be able to do. I'm trying to move some stuff that I've actually got for Mac 84 and move that back east to him, and I'm kind of languishing on that as well. I'm not acting as quickly as I possibly can with that. So we'll be back in touch to go through and work on the mechanics of how we're going to do that. And I appreciate you going through and saving those for me as well. So I will go through, and as you all see, I'm set up a little bit better for uh, making videos again, and hopefully can go through and uh, follow through with that a little bit more than what I've said recently and not really done in action of having more videos. So there'll be some older content that'll come through of the IBM PC that I got yesterday. I'll go through and unbox it. It has the original boxes for that unit, so we'll get to see what vintage it is and go through and work with that. That should be really interesting. I got some supporting booklets with it for even the DOS, the appropriate DOS version of those machines. So that'll be a great thing to do on video and just to show a little bit more. Um, but I think I'm going to go through and just to close down the stream. It's been a very good demonstration. Just went through, with the delays and everything else, it's coming up on about 25 minutes ultimate live time. And maybe I can also do some videos here later on um, today or tomorrow, or the late. It's the big long Labor Day weekend. and so maybe I can use some of that time for also the video stuff, in addition to all the other stuff I have to attend to as well. There's a lot of organization that I still need to do. So thank you everyone for tuning in. But that's all I have for now. This is IBM Museum.